Today, we're diving into something that might make you squirm a little or maybe get you really excited. We are talking about foot fetishes. And before you think this is some weird niche topic, let me tell you this. Foot fetishes are actually one of the most common fetishes out there. We're talking about millions of people who are turned on by feet, and yet it's still this taboo thing that people are secretly whispering about. Welcome back to The Naked Connection. This is the show that supports driven men to reach sexual mastery and build deep connections. What's up, you guys? It's Kirsten. And before we go any further, please take a moment and hit that subscribe button. Trust me, your sex life and that special someone will thank you for it. So whether you're curious about feet, already have a thing for them, or you're just really here to understand what the hell is going on with this whole foot thing, this episode is for you. We're going to explore the science, the psychology, the history, and I'm going to share something extra spicy that most people never talk about when it comes to foot fetishes. And we're also going to explore what to do if you have one, how to engage in this fetish and really enjoy it for yourself. So with that, you guys, let's get some. Let's be real. Your skincare routine probably consists of splashing water on your face and calling it good. But if you want to show up as the confident, put-together man that you are, it is time to level up. The Skin Ultra Advanced Kit from Manscaped will give you everything you need in one simple system. We're talking 4 products that actually work. An electric face buffer pro that deep cleans your skin in only 60 seconds. An exfoliating face wash with brightening vitamin C serum that handles that post-shave irritation. And a lightweight moisturizer that won't leave you looking like a grease ball. Look, you guys, over 12 million men trust Manscaped, and there is a reason for that. This isn't some complicated skincare with a million steps that your girl is invested in every single morning and night. This is a straightforward routine that only takes a minute, and it will make a real difference in how you look and feel. So get 15% off the Skin Ultra Advanced Kit with code NAKED15 at manscaped.com. That's 15% off your entire purchase with code NAKED15 at manscaped.com. Your confidence will thank you. Let's start with the basics. A foot fetish, which is technically called podophilia, is when someone is sexually aroused by feet. This could be the shape, the toes, the arches, even the smell, the way that the feet move, or even what's on them, like shoes, socks, nail polish, jewelry. Now, statistically speaking, foot fetishes account for nearly half of all fetishes related to body parts. So if you're into feet, I want you to know right now that you are definitely not alone in this. You might be wondering, but why feet? Of all the body parts, why are so many people losing their minds over toes? That is where the science and the history gets really interesting. So from an evolutionary standpoint, feet actually tell us a lot about a person's health and genetics. In my episode about what women really want in a man, I did mention that the size of someone's hands and their feet are directly influenced by hormones like testosterone and estrogen levels during puberty. So subconsciously, it's possible that we might be reading feet as indicators of someone's hormonal profile and genetic fitness. Now, through human history, healthy feet meant survival. So someone with strong, well-formed feet, they could hunt, they could gather, escape danger, and provide for their family more effectively. So being attracted to beautiful, healthy feet might actually be our primitive mind saying, this person has good genes and survival capabilities. And when we look at history, in ancient China, there was the tradition of foot binding. It was a practice that was done for over thousands of years, where young girls' feet were tightly bound to prevent growth, which created what were called lotus feet. And these tiny, artificially shaped feet were considered the ultimate symbol of beauty, of status, and eroticism. Wealthy families could afford to have daughters who couldn't walk properly because it meant that they didn't need to work. While this sounds really messed up, but it shows how deeply feet have been connected to sexuality, to status, and really to power throughout human history. Now, from a brain science perspective, in your brain, there's something called the sensory homonucleus, which is basically a map of how your brain processes different body parts. And guess what's located right next to the genital area in this brain map? The feet. So some researchers actually think that the neural pathways for feet and genitals can somehow get cross-wired, especially during development. It's like your brain's filing system got a little bit mixed up, and now feet and sexual pleasure are stored in neighboring files, maybe even a little memo doc got slipped into the sexual pleasure file that was all about feet. So, psychologically speaking, feet are also inherently connected to power and submission. Think about it. Feet are literally at the bottom of your body. They touch the ground. They get dirty. They're often hidden away. And in many cultures throughout history, touching or washing someone's feet was an act of service, of devotion, of submission. Even in Christianity, foot washing is a sacred act that's performed on Maundy, Thursday during Holy Week, really commemorating Jesus washing his disciples' feet as an act of humility and service. So the act of caring for someone's feet has been seen as really both deeply spiritual and deeply intimate across various cultures. And this creates a psychological dynamic where feet become associated with vulnerability, with intimacy, and even with power exchange. So when someone allows you to touch, to massage, to maybe even worship their feet, there's an element of them trusting you with something private and potentially embarrassing. Now, here's something interesting that connects to modern foot fetishes. A woman's feet actually change significantly after pregnancy and childbirth. So hormones like relaxin are going to cause the ligaments in a woman's foot to loosen, her arches are going to fall, and her feet often grow larger permanently. So while it's really unfortunate for a woman's shoe collection after having children, some other things are unfolding here. For some people with foot fetishes, there's something particularly arousing about a experienced or mature foot that shows these life changes. It's like the feet tell the story of a woman's journey through womanhood. So there's so much around why we can become fixated or aroused by a person's foot. But that's not all. So my final piece here about why we might enjoy feet fetishes is that feet are actually one of the most nerve-dense parts of the entire body. We're talking thousands of nerve endings packed into each foot. And here's the kicker, pun totally intended. Many of these nerve pathways connect directly to the pelvic region through something called the posterior tibial nerve. This means that stimulating feet can literally create sensations in the genitals. It's not just psychological, it's truly physiological. When you massage certain pressure points on a person's foot, you're essentially creating a direct line of sexual arousal through the nervous system. Now, here's where things get really, really spicy. Feet can be used as an incredible tool for edging and arousal control. Because the stimulation is indirect, you can build arousal slowly and sustainably without the intensity that might lead to a premature climax. So think of foot worship or foot massage really as a sense of extended foreplay that can last for hours and hours. With all of that in mind, let's get really practical. If you want to bring feet into your sexual experiences, there are so many ways to do it beyond just a foot rub. Let's first talk about foot jobs. Yes, using feet for genital stimulation is absolutely a thing. The arches of the feet can create amazing pressure and friction. So you can use oil or lube to make it smoother, and the person giving this foot job can use both feet together or alternating. It's a completely different sensation than hands, and some people find it incredibly arousing. Then there's also sensory play. You can use your feet or your partner's feet to explore one another's bodies. You can run toes along their skin, using feet to tease and touch different areas. The different textures and temperatures can be incredibly arousing as well. Then there's also looking at this from a power exchange perspective, incorporating that foot worship or dominance and submission play. Having someone kiss or lick or worship your feet can be an incredibly powerful psychological experience for both people involved. And if you think about it from that submissive perspective or dominating perspective, someone can put a foot and standing on top of them on their chest, doing things with your feet to really put yourself above or below the other person. And then integrating with other activities. Don't just think of foot play as separate from regular sex. You can incorporate foot stimulation while you're doing other things. Maybe she's using her feet on you while you're going down on her, or you're massaging her feet while she's touching herself. There is so much where you can incorporate foot play into your sex life at the same time. So with some of those ideas beginning to percolate in your mind about how to incorporate foot play into your sex experiences, let's talk about how to do so safely and consensually. So if you're curious about exploring or amplifying some of this foot play, here's really how to start doing it right. Start with conversation. So we so often talk on this show about the power of communicating about what it is that you want in a sexual experience and how beautiful communication can create wild, sexy sex. So don't just grab someone's foot out of nowhere. Have an actual conversation about interests and boundaries. You could say something like, I find feet really beautiful and sensual. Would you be open to me giving you a foot massage? Or even just asking, how does a foot massage sound for you right now? You know, most people are way more open to a foot massage than you would think. And begin with service. The best way to introduce foot play is through giving. So offer to wash her feet, to give her a pedicure, or provide a luxurious foot massage. Make it about her pleasure and relaxation first. You can use, high quality oils, warm towels, and really take your time and enjoy the experience. Really show her that it's about appreciation and exploration and connection, not just you living out this fetish that you might have. Then consider hygiene. Be really realistic about cleanliness. Some people are into the natural scent and taste of a foot. Other people prefer them freshly washed. So communicate about preferences and respect boundaries around hygiene. Especially if you like to walk around barefoot, you never know what you could potentially truly be picking up. So wanting to make sure that any part of your body is hygienic and safe to be engaged with, and vice versa. And then finally, respecting boundaries. Some people are really ticklish. Some are going to be self-conscious about their feet. Some just aren't going to be into it. I'll be honest, right? And that's all completely normal and okay. If someone isn't into foot play, do what you can to not take it personally and try to convince them otherwise or pressure them into something that they aren't open to doing, which I know that that is not you and you're not going to do that. But I do always have to say it. Now look, whether you're into feet or not, the biggest lesson here is about exploring your sexuality with this sense of curiosity. Our turn-ons and fetishes are often way more complex and interesting than we often even realize. And there's usually some fascinating science, at least I think so, behind why we're attracted to what we're attracted to. So if you are curious about foot play, try it out. And if you're not, that's totally cool too. The goal here is always to expand your capacity for pleasure and intimacy in whatever way feels true to you. So drop a comment below and let me know, have you ever been curious about foot fetishes? Did any of this science surprise you? Maybe you've been exploring feet fetishes for a while and you want to share an aspect of that with the community. Please, I love hearing from you guys. I love it when you connect with each other. Do so in the comments below. This is Kirsten, and with that, until next time, let's get some.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of The Naked Connection. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss another episode. Trust me on this, your sex life and that special someone in your life will thank you for it. And if you really love the show, please take a moment and leave a 5-star review or a written review and let me know what you think. It would mean so much to me and this